Fight Mike here. Today I'm going to be doing my predictions and breakdown for tomorrow's Dana White's Contender Series card. I don't usually do these predictions, but I thought I might give it a crack today. Starting off with the main card opener, we've got Cody Kovanchek versus Rafael Uchegbu. I'm not really good with the names of these guys, and nor with the commentators on the fights that I watched to study them, but I think Rafael's going to be able to get this one done by decision. A lot of the Dana White's Contender Series fights this year have been getting finished very early into the fights, but I don't think either of these guys are going to get finished. Rafael's a very, very good striker and a good grappler. He's a very good all-rounder, but Cody's more of a boxing-style fighter, and he's not nearly as well-rounded as Rafael. But I will say Rafael's been facing a lot tougher competition than Cody. I think he's going to win by an easy-fought decision. Early into Rafael's career, he was finishing a lot of guys in the first few rounds, but now he's getting to round like 3 to 5 to be able to finish them. Crazy, he's already fought 2 5-rounders, but he's been fighting some good oppositions with good records, whereas Cody's only really been fighting the same competition in the last like 2 or so fights of his career. I think Rafael's going to be able to tune up Cody on the feet with the kicks on the outside. I think he's got much better grappling. He's going to be able to get Cody down, and I think he's going to be able to hold him up against the cage, use those knees, and I think he's going to out-activity Cody. As Cody's got a very boxing-heavy style, he doesn't really use his kicks or his grappling nearly enough to be able to win this one, and I think Rafael's going to be able to get it done by decision. Moving on to the next one, we've got Soo Hwang versus Paddy McCorry. I'm going to be going with Paddy McCorry to get this one done by KO in round 2. I was considering an Soo Hwang pick here, but I didn't really see enough from him to make me think that he's on the level of the other UFC guys. He hasn't really faced the same level of opposition. Best opponent being 13-7. Whereas even though Paddy McCorry on his official record hasn't really faced the most best opposition, he was in the Ultimate Fighter Season 32, so he's had some good training. He did lose to Robert Valentin, but he did get a submission in round 2 by guillotine over another guy, I think like a Mark Hulme in the Ultimate Fighter. And I think Soo Hwang's biggest weakness coming into this is definitely going to be his boxing. And Paddy McCorry does actually really excel there. He's got really nice combinations. He's got a really good lead hook over the top. And his kicks Soo Hwang's kicks at range are good and slick. But I would say Paddy McCorry's are just as good. And Paddy McCorry, although he's sometimes awkward, he's got very good defense. And he can definitely tag Hwang in this fight. And Hwang, I don't think he has the best chin because his only loss was in 5 seconds where he basically ran into a short, not powerful shot when his opponent was making their debut. So I think Paddy McCorry is going to be able to catch Soo Hwang moving backwards, especially since he leans so far back when he's trying to defend shots. And I think Paddy's going to be able to get the KO in round 2 with a hook over the top. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Tommy Gant versus Adam Livingston. I'm going to be going with Tommy Gant in this one. I think he's an underdog as well. I'm really excited for this fight. Both of these guys seem like really good prospects. I would argue both of them are probably UFC level, to be honest. I could probably name a couple of fighters that would lose to both of these guys. But Tommy's a very well-credentialed wrestler in the US. I can't remember. He's got some like NCAA type champions. I'm not a US guy. I don't live there, never have. I don't know any of these wrestling credentials. But he is a very well-credentialed wrestler in the UFC and in the US. And he's been fighting like a madman. He had his pro debut in April 2024, fought and won 10 times since then. God, we need some of these UFC fighters to have 10% of that activity. But I watched his last 5 fights, and if he wins, I'm going to watch his other ones because that level of activity and winning against all of them is really impressive. The activity is insane. Barely anyone's been able to stop his takedown attempts, but Adam Livingston is no joke. He's got really good takedown defense, and you could see that in all the fights. His takedown defense and composure is really confusing because he's so ridiculously young, and he's got really nice body shots, and he slings really nice long combinations. But I think Tommy, being such a high-level wrestler, he will still be able to get Livingston down. I don't think Livingston's had to face that same level of wrestler. Or at least Tommy's going to be able to work in the clinch well enough and win a decision. I do genuinely think both of these guys are UFC level. I hope that they both have a good performance if it does go to decision, and I hope both of them get signed in the UFC. I am so excited for this fight. This should be the main event in my eyes. Moving on to the next one, we've got I haven't tried to say these names yet, so you're gonna get to laugh at me whilst I try. We've got Iwo Baraniewski versus Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna go with Iwo to win this one, another underdog. But to be honest, there's not really that much for me to break down because there was no fight footage of Muhammad Ali on any of his 4 fights. And his last win was over a former UFC fighter, Jared Gooden. But the thing is that there's no footage of that fight, and Jared Gooden was a welterweight in the UFC. This is a light heavyweight fighter, so I'm not really taking anything from this. But there's footage of a lot of Muhammad Ali's grappling tournaments. He's a very good grappler. He's got world-level grappling experience. He's grappled against guys like Nicky Rod. He's grappled against Marcus Buchecha. Lost to all the good guys, but he's still some sort of grappling world champion. I couldn't tell you which one. But he is a very, very skilled grappler. I just can't really pick someone who I've not seen them fight an MMA fight to win an MMA fight, especially a guy like Iwo, who has an extensive amateur career. I think he had something like 19 amateur fights, and now he's had 5 wins as well. He's got an extensive judo background. He's a really good wrestler, and I think on the feet, he's going to be better than Muhammad because he's just got that amateur experience with the 19 amateur fights and then like 5 pro fights as well. And he's shown time and time again that he's very, very good. This is going to be confusing, though, when they first start fighting, because Iwo is going to I don't know if he should. He might try and take down Muhammad Ali, but he's probably going to have so much of an advantage on the feet against Muhammad. So I think Iwo is probably going to be able to get a KO in the first or second round, because Muhammad, as a BJJ first fighter, I don't know if he's going to be able to get down a guy like Iwo with the experience that he has in judo. So I think Iwo is going to be able to keep it on the feet and get a KO in round 1. Moving on to the main event of the evening, we got Hercher Sosa versus Mackson Lee. This should be a great fight between the two of them. Hercher is a striker through and through. He throws a lot of flying knees. He's one of those guys that can get into a flow state. Kind of reminding me of Mauricio Rufy a little bit. Not the same level of skill, but he's got the similar movement, and he's got a very similar hook as well. But he's great kicks. He's got really nice lead body shots as well. Good combinations, always ending them with a lead hook to the body or hook over the top, but his hand speed is really something to write home about. Mackson Lee, though, is a 6'1" bantamweight, absolute weight bully, but he does use his range very well. He has a great jab, he's got nice leg kicks, and he's faced some alright levels of competition, but I think I'm going to be picking I forgot his name, Hercher Sosa, to get this one done, because he's got a much better gas tank. And although we've seen some good takedown defense from Mackson Lee, I think he can be manhandleable on the ground once you get him there. He's very, very skinny, very slim, being 6'1" and 135 pounds. So I think he's going to be manhandleable on the ground once he gets it there. And although Lee has a lot of power once he catches you at the full extension, he's fighting guys who are a little bit scared to come into range against him, whereas I don't think Hercher Sosa is going to do that. I think Hercher Sosa is going to be able to come on around the side of one of the straight shots, maybe around the side of a jab, and come over the top with an overhand right. And I think he's going to be able to sleep. I was going to call him Hercher Sosa. I think he's going to be able to sleep Mackson Lee out by KO in round 1 or 2, maybe late round 1, early round 2, as Mackson Lee gets a little bit tired and gets a little bit sloppy. Let me know what you thought of this prediction video in the comments section below. If you would like me to do this for all the Dana White's Contender Series fight cards, let me know. I'm more than happy to do so. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.